Hello everyone, Thempire Ian here for one last new card react before I go on my 3-week long trip to Japan. We got a bunch of stuff from Rage of the Abyss, some just singleton cards that are going to be in there. So let's check them out before I go. If anything comes out over the next 3 weeks, don't expect me to talk about it until I get back. We'll do some videos after that I get back for all that stuff. And I'll also tell you all about the trip. But for now, let's take a look at the last cards we're looking at until August. So halfway through August. First up, we got Chaotic Allure Queen. Apparently not a Chaos Monster, just a Chaotic Allure Queen. But she is definitely a Chaos Monster, so I'm not sure if that's actually accurate. Level 7 Light Spellcaster Effect Monster with 1500 attack, 1500 defense. That's the Allure Queen stat line. I'm really glad to see more Allure Queen stuff. So let's see what this does. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name once per turn. You can discard one other light or dark monster, especially summon this card from your hand. I mean, that seems alright, and that seems like a chaos monster. That seems decent, considering the Allure Queen monsters are dark, I believe. I believe they're all dark. You can target one monster in either graveyard, equip it to this card, and if you do, this card's name becomes that monster to the end phase. Then if this is a light or dark monster, you can special summon a dark Allure Queen monster from your deck or graveyard. That seems crazy. And it's an Allure Queen, so you can search it off of the various new support that's coming out. Seems alright. Seems pretty good. Not a whole lot to say here because we haven't really seen what Allure Queen is going to be able to do. And Allure Queen, it needs something. I think Allure Queen is missing something, and I don't know that it's this, but this certainly helps for sure. I like it, but I'm gonna need to see a little more before I'm sure that Allure Queen is gonna be playable off of this. Next up, a new Dominus. This is Dominus Impulse. These are like a new range of hand traps that are literally traps. It's interesting that they're kind of taking, because that was very successful with Infinite Impermanence. The first Dominus trap card doesn't seem particularly good. Let's see what about this one. Holy moly, this one's getting censored for sure, huh? You can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. If your opponent controls a card, you can activate this card from your hand, sure. When a card effect is activated that includes an effect that special summons a monster, negate that effect, and if you have a trap in your graveyard, destroy that card. Seems alright. Seems pretty good. If you activate this card from your hand, you can now activate the effect of Light, Earth, and Wind monsters the rest of this duel. Easy. No problem at all. Easy. Like, that's not an issue at all. Like, really? Okay. This one seems pretty crazy, actually. This one I expect to see play. Until such time as there is a light, earth, or wind meta. This one seems pretty decent, yeah. Negating a summon, a special summon, is pretty decent. It's a normal trap too. And the funny thing is if you activate the card from the hand, you can't activate those. But if you activate it from the field, and you set it from deck, perhaps, by the effect of like a Labyrinth card, it doesn't seem half bad, does it? I do like the idea that these might be printed later too. I would love her. She's so cute. I could see that. I would love to play this deck, whatever it is. Alright, Performage Ball Balancer. Ball Balancer. They're just like trickling out Performage and Performapal cards. I guess they do that quite frequently though. Level 4 Earth, Spellcaster, Pendulum Scale 3. You can only use the Pendulum Effect this card name once per turn. During any phase, you can send up a Performage Pendulum Monster from your extra deck to the grave. You can increase this card's Pendulum Scale by the sent monsters. Sure. That's like fine. You can only use the first, second, and third effect of this card's name once per turn. I feel like monsters really should only have 2 effects, but whatever. If you control a Performage monster, you can summon this card from your hand. Like, just like game balance wise, and card text wise, it just makes more sense to me for cards to have 2 effects. If you control a Performage card, you can summon this card from your hand. Sure, that's decent. This card is normal special summon. You can activate one of these effects. Add a Performage Pendulum monster from your hand or from your deck to your face up extra deck, or destroy a perform mage monster you control, so that would be plush fire. When an opponent special summon monster declares a direct attack, you can special summon this card from your graveyard. This is an interesting one. I'm not really sure how to evaluate it, though. It seems decent. It seems alright. It's a tricky one, I think. As I said when I was talking about the Perform Mage cards, it's really tricky to evaluate these cards because there's just so many Pendulum cards that they can all work with. So I'll leave that to someone who actually knows a thing or two about the stupid combos for that awful deck. Fiendsmith! Don't you want more Fiendsmith? Isn't that what you wanted? More Fiendsmith? Okay, so apparently Lacrima is a hot girl, which we love. Lacrima, the Scarlet Sorrow. Level 4, Light Fiend effect. 12/12. This card is always treated as a Fiendsmith card. You can only use the first and second effects of this card once per turn. If this card is normal special summon, you can send a Fiendsmith card from your deck to the grave, except for Lacrima. That seems pretty decent, yeah. During your opponent's turn, this card is in your graveyard. Quick effect, you can target one Fiendsmith Link monster in your graveyard, shuffle this card in the deck, and you do special summon that monster. Seems alright. And then we have a Link 3, Fiendsmith's Agnus Dei. Agnus Dei? Agnus Dei? Materials, 2+ monster, including a Light Fiend. Once per turn, quick effect, you can target one non-link Light Fiend monster in your graveyard, special summon it, and if you do equip this card you control to it as an equipped spell with these effects. The equipped monster gains attack equal to the total link ratings of the link monster cards equipped to it times 600. If the equipped monster attacks a defense position monster, to inflict piercing battle damage to your opponent. This is dog shit. Wow, this is awful. This is a terrible card. This one seems alright. Lacrima is like fine. Lacrima makes more sense as like a if you're trying to play like Fiendsmith, like not playing a Fiendsmith engine, but you're trying to play the deck Fiendsmith. It makes more sense in that kind of context. And I don't know that you really want to play it otherwise. Like it gets you more access to Fiendsmith, but not in a particularly useful way. Like, yeah, Fiendsmith can do stuff in the grave, and it is a Light Fiend, so you can go right into the Link 1. But, like, that's not... It has to use up your normal summon to do that, is the problem. But in a Fiendsmith deck, this is crazy, actually. Like, I'm just like I'm thinking about it now. This card is actually crazy if you're trying to make a Fiendsmith deck, right? Because it's a normal summon. It gets you the Link 1, and then it's material for Fiendsmith to summon itself back. But like a Fiendsmith deck isn't particularly good, right? Fiendsmith as an engine is what's good, and this is not very particularly helpful for that. It's almost helpful, but it's not quite helpful. And this Link monster is terrible. I guess it makes sense. No, I was about to say it makes sense in the context of a Fiendsmith deck as like a bad card that helps you win the game, but even then, it's still too bad to consider. Like literally, like you're supposed to like equip this to the big fusions to give them extra attack for each Link monster attached to them, or you're supposed to get like regular ass Fiendsmith, and then it gains a small amount of attack. It gains 600 for the Link 3, and then if you could attach the other two on it, that's another 600 and 600. That's not like that's 1800 total. It doubles the attack of it, but at the cost of 3 back row slots, and you have to have all 3 engraved and not have used them for fusions. And you also have to go into this Link 3. Seems not very good. Does not seem great. Does not seem very good to me at all. Like, it has a funny combo with Lacrimosa because of Lacrimosa's attack loss effect. But, like, the fusions are only barely part of the engine anyways. Now, as part of the deck, they'd be important parts. But I don't know that you use this to... I guess you could use this follow-up to get the fusions back on the field if you're playing this as Fiendsmith the deck. But even then, it seems like a lot of effort to go into that instead of just making another fusion. I don't know. It doesn't do a whole lot other than just... The fact... If it was not an extra deck monster, I wouldn't even be considering it. If this was not an extra deck monster, I would just be like, no, don't play this. But because it's an extra deck monster, it's like, you have easy access to it when you want it, and then it doesn't get in your way when you don't want it. But like, outside of just like playing pure Fiendsmith, these 2 cards are not particularly good. But we have one last one that came out just last night, a new Memento, and that's horrifying. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Ew, gross. Memento Tlan Akihiron. Level 5, Water Aqua effect. You can use the first, second, and third effects of this card's name once per turn. If this card is normal special summon, you can activate this effect. Level 9 or higher Memento monsters can attack directly this turn. That's funny, but not particularly good. If this card is destroyed by card effect, you can target one other Memento monster in your graveyard or banishment, add it to your hand. That's okay. If a Memento monster in your hand or face-up field is destroyed by battle or effect while this card's in your graveyard, you can special summon this card. That's good. But, I don't think you play this. You've got plenty of other targets you want to send engrave before you send this guy. I don't think you play this guy at all. Ooh, the fact it gets them out of the banishment, though, actually. The fact that it can get your crucial combo pieces out of the banishment might make this playable. It's certainly a one of. There's no doubt in my mind that this is a one of at all. But it's a level 5, which makes it really hard to send off a Tsuchinogo. If it was like a level 1, I could see it. But it's a level 5. Yeah. And like, I know it special summons itself. That's not the part I'm worried about with it being level 5. It's the fact it's the Tsuchinogo effect. I'm saying that wrong. Tatsu. I'm calling it Tatsu. Sorry. The Tatsu effect to send the 5 levels to the grave. This would be your entire send instead of getting to send Gaddock or and then Keymace and Goblin. Although do you send sheep now? I don't know the sheep combos. But yeah, if even then, like, this is still a level 5 monster, right? You don't want to send that off because that's the entire send, and it's not particularly good all on its own. So this is like, it's a spot in the deck that could be like any other card, and it's only going to come up occasionally, and then you're going to be like, ah, I wish I had that one. But when it comes up, you're going to be like, ah, I wish I had that one. I don't know. I don't feel like you play this anywhere outside of the sideboard, maybe. Like if you're up against an opponent that banishes a lot. And that's like it, I think. That's a tough one. This is a tough one for sure. I feel like it's almost there. If it had like one more thing going for it, like instead of just adding to hand, it did something else. Or if this effect was better. Because like, you can already do piercing damage. So that, and it's already a 5k monster. I guess it lets the fusion attack directly too. So that's like neat, I guess. I don't know. Alright, so this one, mid. Low mid. These, decent in their own deck. The normal monster is incredible, or the normal summon is incredible in its own deck. The Link monster is low mid in its own deck, but not in the engine at all. I don't think they're going to see much play. I have no idea how to evaluate this. Dominus, pretty good. I would say like I expect this to see play actually. And then Chaotic Allure Queen, probably decent. But the deck needs more. It needs a little bit more, I think. Let me know what you think of these down below. Wish me well on my trip. I hope to see you all again soon. It'll be, you know, in a little over 3 weeks, and then we'll be back to business as usual. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you again in close to a month. Bye. Hey there, thanks for watching another video. Why don't you give it a like, share it around, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell for notifications. You know, the YouTube stuff. You can also follow me on Twitch and Twitter for more content. I got content plenty for ya. You can also support the channel by giving me money. You have a Patreon. If you join the Patreon, you can show up in the credits over here. I would really appreciate that. You can also use my TCG Player affiliate link to get any singles, sealed product, or accessories that you want, all to start supporting the channel at the same time. That's all for this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Be kind to yourselves, be kind to others, and have a wonderful rest of whatever time it is for you. Bye now!